Whoa! Let there be light! What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday rest day. We're out here doing the best we can, eating up a storm, and we're heading home. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was I'm doing a lot of thinking about my diet and my nutrition protocols, if you will. So, because you can hardly call it a diet, but it's time to raise some things up. So, just like you saw on the thumbnail, that's going to be our new protein. I'm looking to raise it to probably 450 grams of protein a day. Now, here's where me and the vegans don't get along. When you're really calculating your protein sources, right, I'm only counting the protein that comes from animal-based sources. So, like, if I'm eating 450 grams of protein a day, I know I'm getting at least another 75 grams of protein from my pasta, my rice, things like that. But I don't count that because they're not a complete amino acid profile. So I'm only counting complete amino acid profiles because those are the ones that actually do what I need to do. But I was looking at the math in a way, not to get all nerdy on you, but looking at the math as to where my nutrition was, sure, but primarily my protein. And it was just because I struck up a conversation with a friend of mine about it, and I had to really, just about how much the older guys used to eat. And I was looking at it, I'm like, gram per pound of body weight wise, I don't think I'm eating enough for the growth I'm looking for at the speed I'd like. You know, because to keep the math simple, let's just say I weigh 250 pounds, right? I'm just under 240 right now. I've had a hard time getting back over it. But let's just say I'm 250, just for math's sake. Now, if I was eating 1 gram of protein per body weight, that'd be eating 250 grams of protein a day. But I'm not. I've been eating about 350, give or take. So, it's a good amount of food, for sure. But, he keeps trying to call me. Oh. My girl's trying to call me. Hope it's not an emergency. She'll be alright. She's a strong, independent woman who... That's it. Strong, independent little lady. But... Anyway. Yeah, the calls went away. She's fine. Probably. Where was I? 350. So, regularly I'm eating about 350 grams of protein per day just from animal-based products, right? Now... mathematically, that comes out to, I didn't do the exact math, but roughly 1.25 grams of protein per body weight. When really I want to be in like the 1.5, 2 kinda. The 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per body weight area. Which means, just math simple again, if I wanted to be at the 2, I'd need 500 grams of protein a day. But it's not always a good idea to jack up your protein out of nowhere because it hits your kidneys pretty hard. In the sense of they're not used to working that much out of nowhere. So they usually say a good rule of thumb is out of nowhere, you don't want to jack up calories, like 500 calories worth of protein per day. Out of the blue, you know what I mean? Do 500 calories worth, give or take, and then jack it up more at a later date. That's kind of what we're doing. We're pushing a little bit more than that because I think it'll be alright. But one thing you do need to watch is your protein synthesis. Now, they say that the experts, if you will, the experts say that you'll only synthesize about 30 grams of protein per meal. But I strongly disagree with that. I'm a big believer of your protein synthesis sort of acting like a separate metabolism for you, if that makes sense. But let me explain a little bit further on that. So you have your metabolism, right? That's just basic thermodynamics, calories in, calories out, what your body is doing energy-wise, right? But let's take it a step further. Me being a 240-pound jacked up bodybuilder with supplementation involved, you know, I'm going to have a higher requirement in my body for the synthesis of amino acids to be utilized, especially in comparison to, let's say, an 80-year-old man who doesn't work out, right? Two completely different people, but same gender. Now, I believe, based on my own theories, that protein synthesis in the body acts like its own metabolic rate, in the sense that the more amino acid absorption your body requires, based on the anabolic capabilities that your body is requiring, the more capable you are at protein synthesis. That's the theory I have in my head that I'm running with. Jesus Christ. People can't drive, man. It's a shame. Glad it wasn't just me. I almost hit somebody else too. But anyway, so somebody like that guy, right? Tiny guy with a little wee-wee spinning out of traffic. He's not going to require a lot of protein synthesis because he's a small, frail, feeble man. You know, his body's not going to need a lot. Somebody like me, you know, with a lot of muscle on me, training, working hard, my body's going to require a much larger anabolic capability of synthesized protein. Otherwise, plain and simple, it's just not going to recover, right? Now, the body is all too good at adapting to its environment. That being said, it only makes sense that it would adapt to the anabolic necessities in protein synthesis to make sure that everything is healed properly. Because I believe the main studies that are done on normal people, where your body requires about 30 grams of protein at a clip to properly heal the body. But now they're properly healing the standard cellular damage that happens to the average person, you know? Healing your organs, healing your skin, your hair, your nails, skeletal muscle a little bit, but that's it. But I don't believe they take into the account the intensity that the average bodybuilder, somebody like myself, is training at, you know? Because we're physically ripping up skeletal muscle. Why is that camera doing that? Is it doing it for you guys where it's like zooming in and out for a second? But it's not taking in the actual necessity to synthesize protein for cellular repair on a skeletal muscle structure. You know? And now keep in mind, it's not just what you train that day. Every day your muscle's sore, and even a little bit past it, your body's yearning for protein for that muscle. So when you train legs on Thursday, and Friday your body's, let's just say the Thursday protein you eat, you're thinking that's all going to your legs, but it's not. It's going to whatever you train Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, and Saturday too, because your body's trying to recover everything, you know? It doesn't just recover it magically like this. So that's my theory. The real quick and dirty of my theory on the protein synthesis is that it acts at its own metabolic rate. And I said all that to justify, because I know I'm going to get a ton of comments from all whatever platforms saying, that's too much protein, you're not going to use it all, it's going to turn to uric acid, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of it has a lot of truth to it based on the research that's out there. But people don't do research with athletes. They do research with animals and regular humans, you know, but when you're training this hard, when you're living this lifestyle, you know, we kind of left humanity behind. So we need to see what's actually best for us. And the only way to do so is to experiment. But we're going to be smart with it. We're going to take precautions in ensuring that our acidity in our body doesn't get too high, because some of it will convert to uric acid, 100%. Your body will never utilize every gram of protein you eat. Some of it converts to uric acid. Now, that being said, because I'm eating more protein, it allows me to convert more of it to uric acid, right? So in doing so, I know there's going to be a higher acidity level potential in my body. And I say potential because we're going to take the precautions necessary to lower that acidity. Things like lemon water, drinking more water, just the basics. Not vegetables. We don't eat vegetables. They're bad for you. So that's the plan right now. Jacking up the protein. Carbohydrate-wise, I eat about 600 grams a day. We'll probably bring that up to 6-7, I'd say, based on how we're feeling with the protein, stomach capacity-wise. My fats are relatively high. I'm really not sure on the number at all, but they'll rise a little bit from the protein sources and from whatever carbohydrate sources we jack in, but we're not specifically targeting that. But that's the plan. So we're going to raise calories, we're going to jack up protein, jack up the carbs, get jacked up. And on that note, guys, I think you're starting to understand why I go to the grocery store so much. And I'll see you tomorrow for a Boulder Shoulder Day. We're going to go home, get a bunch of food in us as soon as we get there, feed it up as best we can, slam some more protein today so we can hit that first day of 450, because there's still enough hours in the night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it, baby.